I'm Julie Zenner along with Dennis Anderson, and here's what's coming up on Almanac North.
Well, after years of frustration, it's a goal for renovation of Duluth's historic Norshor Theatre. The building will become the cornerstone of a downtown arts district.
Folks are gearing up for a big rhubarb in Duluth this weekend, but it's all for a good cause.
And we'll have a feature newsfile story from 25 years ago and bring you the week's top business headlines.
It's all up next on Almanac North. Hello and welcome to Almanac North. Thanks for watching. Denny, the first weekend of summer. We certainly are enjoying some warmer weather and warmer temperatures.
Ooh, this is the time to get outside and enjoy, isn't it?
And lots of good activities going on.
I agree.
Guests can tell you about one of
plenty to do this weekend, that's for sure. Thanks, Julia. Welcome to all of you. Well, a large crowd gathered in front of the historic Norshor Theatre in downtown Duluth this past Tuesday. At a news conference, officials announced a complicated financing deal was finally in place for a $30 million renovation of the Art Deco building. Sherman Associates now officially has ownership of the building and will manage construction. After the news conference, we spoke with Sherman's Richard Kiemen about the project.
My role is I'm Senior Vice President of Construction for Sherman Associates and Vice President for Craftsman Construction. And we will provide oversight for the project and work with Johnson Wilson constructors, local firm, Jamar Companies and Parsons, along with TKDA, and will facilitate overseeing the completion that the plans get built the way that we need them to. We'll work and act as a liaison between the Playhouse, who obviously has a vested interest that the theater is a functioning theater. So that'll be my role to ensure that the end product. We know that there will be unforeseens that we'll have to navigate, and everybody's well aware of that. So those players that I mentioned have all been at the table with us for the last 3 to 4 years. So and that's quite a commitment on their part. And obviously, bringing it up to ADA compliance is huge. I mean, the number we have. 4 separate elevators, I believe, that are going in, 5 if you count the couple lifts. So there's a lot of those. That's one of our big pieces that was very critical for parts of the financing. The building needed to be ADA accessible. And then always to maintain the integrity of the historical component of the Norshor Theatre. We did a walkthrough this morning as part of our pre-construction meeting with our historical consultant, Hess Royce, to ensure that we have the ability to protect those areas and those components of the building. And how are we going to do that to ensure that they are adequately protected? All the while, still facilitate access to bring it to a modern theater. The theater has been in a high degree of disrepair. If you go up on the roof right now, you will see carpet and approximately 1,000 tires that are spread out up there too. So, you know, over the years, that water intrusion that has happened from that, we'll have to deal with that. And until you really open up, you won't see the effect of some of those. So those, from my perspective, there's certain components of the timelines of the project. Once we're through the demolition, I start feeling a little bit better, because if there is a problem, we'll know about it and we can better identify it and manage it. The skywalk will be coming in what I would refer to as skywalk level, if you will, level 3, which will basically connect through the Gray Salon building into the skywalk that connects to the city-owned parking lot. Therefore, patrons can park in the ramp, walk through the skywalk, come in down through into the box office areas, enjoy the theater, go up, and then navigate back, and therefore stay out of the elements.
And so joining us now in studio to talk about the restoration of the Norshor Theatre is the mayor of Duluth, Emily Larson, whose staff has been working to put this deal together. Yep. And Christine Seitz is executive director of the Duluth Playhouse, which will occupy the renovated complex. Thank you both for being here tonight.
You bet.
Mayor, can you tell us why did it take so long to get this deal all wrapped up?
Well, there's a lot of people in the kitchen. That's really part of it. In fact, we were just talking beforehand that there are a lot of vested interests, and we did choose a more complicated path for this by bringing partners aboard and making it work in that way. And what you find when that happens, I mean, $30 million is a significant investment. We're talking about skywalk, we're talking about ADA, these elevators, and then the needs for performance. And so there's a lot of vested interest, and you need to balance it and make sure that everyone's getting what they need and that everyone's covered financially. From the city perspective, we wanted to make sure that our risk was appropriate but low and guaranteed, but also fully engaged. And so as we're doing our due diligence, that's the same diligence that the Playhouse was doing, the same diligence that DETA and Sherman, everyone needed to do.
And Christine, at some point, Sherman will turn ownership over to the Playhouse a few years down the road.
Yep, about 5 years into operations, they will turn the ownership over to the Playhouse. Yeah, so. And part of that just is the structure and how all of this works and the exiting of the tax credits. And so, yes, we will be the owners and the managers of the space.
Let's talk about some of the fun stuff, because this was an exciting week for you. Why is this so key for your organization and for the community as a whole?
Well, you know, first and most importantly is the community impact. I mean, as a community member, and an artist, I think that the impact of the North Shore is going to be monumental, both economically and for the arts. So, you know, what's in it for the Playhouse is, well, we're really busting the seams at the Depot Theater, and it has been our home for many years, and we will continue to perform in that venue as well. But, you know, like all businesses, arts groups aren't any different, that you look for capacity building opportunities so you can continue to grow and thrive and advance the arts in the Northeast region. And the Norshor Theatre is key to that for many of the local arts groups that are seeking this size venue that will come fully equipped with the lights and the support that you need to produce. And this is one of the highlights at the Norshor Theatre, and something that was very important to the Playhouse is that the Norshor would be built out with the equipment and the supplies for groups to use, and not just theater, music, dance, and they're all different disciplines, and they have different requirements, and that is part of this package so that they can have a home that will support their work. And if you look at a venue like the Deck, which is beautiful and fabulous, it's built as a shell, so you bring in all of your own equipment, right? Your lights and your sound, and that can be complicated and very expensive for mid-sized and smaller arts groups. So it was really key that the North Shore would be built out with these resources, if you will.
And who's responsible for that part of the build out? Is that the Duluth Playhouse?
It is. It's one of the reasons that, well, it's the primary reason why we will be engaging in a $4.5 million capital campaign, is so that we can make sure that the theater has the lights and the sound and outfit the spaces, if you will.
Cost of renovation. Can you talk to us a little bit about the financial package?
Yeah, well, and it is complicated. It's funny, you don't want to oversimplify what's happening, but you know, essentially what the city put forward is storefront renovation dollars that can only be used for economic development, and it can only be used downtown. We have some tax credit financing that's coming forward. George Sherman, the developer, has brought quite a bit of financial resources forward and is guaranteeing the construction and the design and all sorts of components. So our risk is actually quite low. As Christine said, you know, the Playhouse is engaging in a really significant fundraising campaign to build that out. So it kind of breaks down into 4 different buckets of tax credits: public, private, and then philanthropic.
Will some of the beauty of the Art Deco theme be preserved? Can we still use what we had decades ago?
Yeah, and what's interesting about this project is you can get kind of romantic about it. Oh, won't that be so nice if we can remodel it? It only works if the details work. And one of the reasons why this project works is we have a beautiful space that we can rehabilitate and use to advance our arts. And in Duluth, our creative economy is $40 million. It is significant what's happening. And in the North Shore, we will be able to do visual art, dance art, theater art, vocal art. It will be a shell for all of that that will be built out.
Will movies be shown?
Well, I hope so, yeah.
Well, you know, it's interesting because a movie house is a different build out than a performance stage. So could you put a screen on the stage and show a movie or a video presentation? Absolutely. but acoustically and lighting wise and seating wise, and you may or may not know this, but right now the North Shore has this kind of concave seating, and that's because that was more appropriate for the visual aesthetics for a movie house. And that is one part of the renovations that has to change, is we have to re-rake the floor so that the visuals are in line with theater and dance, that you're here looking at it and not looking up, right? So could you do movies? Yes. Is that one of its primary functions? No. Its primary function is theater, music, musical bands, and dance, opera. It's going to be alive many nights a week. I mean, before we were too far down the road with the North Shore conceptually, we met with all the arts groups in our town, the local arts groups, and asked them, how would you use this? What would be important to you? And that became part of the vision and the build out of the spaces, to make sure that it was done in a way that it was usable for them and made sense for their art discipline.
$30+ million is a big renovation project. What's the condition of the building, and what are some of those pieces that have to be done?
Well, some of it is ADA compliance is really expensive, and of course the skywalk comes with this whole project, and there's quite a bit of cost that comes with that. I was listening to Richard, in the tape you were playing ahead of time, and he's talking about the condition of the roof and things that are happening up there. So there are actually really key components. There are certain things we can't move because it is a historical property, but there are certain things that we will be adapting. A lot of the cost, however, really does come from kind of just bringing it back to where it was and advancing it to where it needs to be, but then also those components of ADA and skywalk. They're very expensive.
And bringing it back to a theater. It was built out as a movie house.
Right.
Again,
Are you going to try to replicate the old marquee? It was a beautiful marquee outside.
Well, that is part of our vision. That will not be achieved immediately, but that certainly is part of the vision. And as we talked about before we were on air here, you think of Fargo, North Dakota, and that beautiful marquee in the Fargo Theater that lights up downtown, and certainly we'd love to see that happen, and that's part of the package and part of the goal, but it isn't going to be the immediate thing that you see, and it may take us a little while to get there.
And it sounds like work is starting already this week. The dumpsters were rolled in and people are starting to pull things apart. What's it like down there?
We've had the construction plans in place for a year and a half. So we have been ready to go. So once the structure closed, they were in there right away, and they're cleaning it up and getting it prepared. And we've got 1.5 years. It's scheduled to open December of 2017.
Which brings the question: is there a first production for the North Shore stage already booked?
That's a secret. Of course there is.
I figured it would be.
I have a lot of requests.
And I don't think you'll tell me what it is.
I'm not going to tell you, but I'll make sure I reserve a seat for you.
Thank you very much.
And a lot of requests coming in for it. So that is really talked about a lot. That's kind of fun. People are ready to get back in that space.
Yes.
The Historic Arts and Theater District is really starting to gel.
Yeah.
What makes this so important to the success of that district and the vision that the city has put forward?
Well, it becomes a real anchor for it. I mean, it's a not just a focal point. It's going to be a beautiful, and of course the lights and all of those things, but it really does kind of anchor that part of downtown. You're right, it is the Historic Arts and Theater District. That's a wonderful tagline, but it's actually a functional tagline, because there is so much happening with our creative economy down there. And you partner that with Zeitgeist, you partner that with some of the other things that are happening. So to me, it becomes its own focal, although what's interesting is that the Heart District has started and is starting to thrive without it. So what's going to be fun is to see all the value that ends up bringing in the end.
Will the stage have to be enhanced, and will dressing rooms be built?
Yes, that is a major part of the build out, actually, because it was a movie house. The space doesn't have an orchestra pit. That's expensive. It will. We will be digging down and creating an orchestra pit, dressing rooms. Certainly there will be rehearsal studios and offices and a wardrobe space, and it'll be a real live theater, wing space. When you go in there, it's like none of that exists now, right? So that's all become, and has made it quite complicated and expensive, is to restore.
Can the balcony be reused? A lot of people
would like
to know.
The balcony will be. It will be reopened up, and it'll be one theater. So the balcony will be restored.
Now, ownership eventually will bring some responsibilities. The Playhouse comfortable with how the numbers are coming together? What happens if the vision doesn't quite turn out the way that you're expecting it to at this point?
Sure. Well, the Playhouse spent a couple of years working on a business plan that made sense. Right. And we really dug deep into what these operations would look like. and what our responsibility would be and what we would have to do to support the work there. And we became very comfortable with an operational plan that really is not that far off from where we're sitting today. The difference is owning a space, and that comes with different responsibilities, certainly. But we have scrubbed through all of that and the numbers, and it's not only a comfortable business plan from our perspective, it is not at risk. The Playhouse is 102 years old, and you know, my very wise board of directors have looked at this very carefully to make sure that after all of these years, a century of operations, that we didn't put the Playhouse in a risk situation, and it's not. We're very confident that we have a very strong business plan. Of that, I'm sure.
Any concerns about the timing with Superior Street construction coming up?
You know, I think that all of the businesses downtown have concerns, and we're going to have to be addressing those. I think that there's still some questions of when that's going to happen and how that's going to impact, or what sidewalks you can get down. The good thing about the North Shore is that it is connected with a skywalk, so it won't interrupt business by any means.
No, and it is interesting. You know, we have moved, of course, the Superior Street will be the entire downtown. So we've just completed the building with Maurice's, and now we're starting this one. So as a city, we're very, very mindful of that. Of course, this all hinges on the bonding session and a special session happening for bonding. And if that doesn't happen, then we'll all be adjusting our timelines, and we'll be very, very cautious and courteous and a good partner with
Some exciting things though going on in downtown Duluth.
Absolutely, great week.
Mayor Emily Larson, thank you. Christine Seitz, Duluth
Thank
Playhouse,
you.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, let's dig into our news file archive for a look at what was making news 25 years ago this week.
Duluth Skyline Rotary members worked with the 148th Fighter Interceptor Group to create this memorial, which honors not only fallen soldiers, but the daily service of our acting military. It also salutes the contributions of the entire Duluth community.
These are the organizations, the people, and the businesses who are the foundation of America. They are the real reason for the victory in Desert Storm. They typify those who serve and to who 608 is dedicated.
This particular F-4 Phantom fighter was selected because of its 24 years of service. During that time, it's flown missions from Vietnam to Germany before spending its last tour of duty in Duluth.
And humanity.
But it is people and not planes which are the focus of this tribute, and officials hope its message of service will encourage all of us not only to honor the dead with memorials, but to appreciate the contributions of the living. Lisa Blagan, KDLH News.
It's back, and it's bigger than ever. That's what they're saying about this weekend's Rhubarb Festival in Duluth. The 12th annual event is all day Saturday, and admission is free. There will be plenty of family-friendly fun and lots of rhubarb foods to sample. And the best part, all money raised goes to support those in need of food and shelter in our community. Well, here to tell us more is Lee Stuart, Executive Director of CHUM. And welcome back, Lee. Thanks for being here.
Thanks very much for having us. All rhubarb all the time this weekend.
All rhubarb all the time. This seems to be getting bigger and bigger every year. What's going on?
Well, what I hear sitting at CHUM, oh, you have a rhubarb patch? We'd love it. Bring it on in. Just calls are coming in from all over the community about rhubarb that people have. People have been bringing in donations like this bench, like a bicycle, like there have been hundreds of people baking pies.
Oh, I'm
I
sure.
was over at the First Lutheran Church this morning and this afternoon, and they were loading up pies and juice bars and jellies and syrups. And you could this year we have so much rhubarb, we're selling a lot of fresh rhbarb too, so you can pick that up.
So this is something that really kind of gets started weeks and weeks beforehand.
Well, it feels like months beforehand. We almost never stop planning for how to make the next one. We're listening all of the time to hear for new acts, like even right after last year's, we began thinking about how much fun it would be to have a climbing wall this year. And so this year we have a climbing wall.
So when we get there tomorrow, what can we expect? What are we going to see and be able to take part in?
Well, you can eat to your heart's desire anything that you can imagine made out of rhubarb. So what you should do first is walk through, and you should make sure you get your pie.
Yep. Coffee shop too.
There's a coffee shop. There's a bake sale. You can buy pies to bake.
Entertainment.
We have a stage show that runs from about 9 until the end of 4. And then we have, for kids, we have a run that's at 9. We have face painting. We have, we can go to, Whole Foods Co-op has a booth where you can take a bite of rhubarb and then make your best rhubarb face. My favorite thing tomorrow, though, is the largest leaf and longest stalk contest. People
Really?
have been fertilizing their rhubarb,
So
I
bring your
hear,
rhubarb
to make
in.
that, and they will start coming from miles around with rhubarb stalks 4 feet long and 4 feet wide, and Scott Bowl will be there with his official measuring tape, and we will measure them out. and it is high fun.
Yes.
And then you can have a cup of coffee, and then you can go have a rhubarb brat, and then you can go have a piece
Rhubarb
of rhubarb
brat.
pie. Rhubarb burrito, if you like, and if you're early enough, you can have pancakes with rhubarb sausage.
Oh my word!
You mentioned the First Lutheran. Is there a competition between some of the congregations that are members of CHUM to try to outdo each other from
I
year
think
to
that
year?
would be a really polite word to use for that, but there are. I think competition. I think all in good fun. Many hundreds of people, and yesterday's Day of Caring also had lots of involvement with people chopping rhubarb and making pies. So I know that First Lutheran has a stake in the pie game. Copper Top does. St. Michael's, lots and lots of places, and some make 300, some make 100, and of course everybody. This happens to be a First Lutheran pie, and I was told one of the things that makes it the greatest is that it doesn't have a lot of rhubarb goo that has come out on the top. They call it wet spots, but to me, I call it rhubarb goo.
It's all the aesthetics.
Yes, and so and the First Lutheran has a pie machine that makes rhubarb. Makes pie crust so that you could make. It's just a great thing. It
Lee,
involves all ages. So.
Tomorrow's the big day. Tell us when and where.
When and where is behind. It starts at 9 and will run through 4, and it is behind First Lutheran Church on London Road. And inside First Lutheran Church is where we have a coffee shop, and that's where we have a silent auction and a bucket raffle as well. And we're raffling off 2 really great things this year: jewelry and a bowl from Tom Lohman. So those are limited tickets. So that'll be a really.
Have you noticed the crowd growing every year?
I notice it's growing, and I know it's highly weather dependent, but we're going to have it no matter what. And God smiles on CHUM, and God smiles on the Rhubarb Festival, and so we're really confident that it's going to be just a great day. At 9 o'clock, there'll be at least 50 people lined up to make sure that they get the best pie.
I think it's supposed to be around 80 degrees tomorrow, so it should be nice.
And Rhubarber's had a renovation, so she'll be out in style.
Excellent. So. Let's talk a little bit about the importance of this event to CHUM and some of the services that this helps your organization provide in the community.
Well, this is CHUM's largest community fundraiser, and we generally raise around $65,000. That is a large piece of support. And particularly for our shelter and our drop-in center, CHUM's mission, as you know, is people of faith working together to provide basic necessities, foster stable lives, and organize for a just and compassionate community. And by basic necessities, we mean our food shelf, which serves almost 7% of Duluth families, and our shelter, which every year sees about 900 people come seeking emergency shelter. That's the heart of it, and we have the 24-hour drop-in center where people can come and get assistance with employment, with housing, get their mail, get access to internet, showers, laundry, food, place where they're at home. And this is the other part that's really important about this. Is such a community event. It involves people from all of the CHUM congregations. It involves people from sponsors. It involves youth groups. It involves all coming together to celebrate probably the greatest vegetable in the world, rhubarb.
You mentioned vegetable. It's a vegetable, isn't it?
Well, there was some dispute about this. I read that about whether you could, when it was imported at one time, you couldn't import fruits, but you could vegetables. But I consider it a solid vegetable.
Yeah. Some say it's a fruit, but or a weed. No.
So is there a favorite rhubarb item that you are just waiting to get a hold of tomorrow that you might recommend so that people get there early and make sure they get some?
Well, I'm partial to rhubarb crisp myself.
Ooh, that sounds good.
But again, I was there this afternoon. I lost count of how much is there. So really, you can get rhubarb jam, you can get rhubarb jelly, you can get rhubarb pies with strawberries or raspberry, all kinds of berries, and you can bake it yourself. You can get scones.
All right.
It's an abundance of rhubarb.
And I hear that they no longer let you be rhubarbra. So.
Well, I guess it's the clamor that other people get to wear that wonderful, wonderful costume.
You got demoted, Lee.
It's a great day for kids, and it's a great day for all people.
Have a wonderful day, Lee.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Have fun.
Thanks for having me. We'll have a good time.
Let's turn now to the week's business headlines from the folks at Business North. Superior-based Helver Lines has opened a new terminal in Inver Grove Heights. The Twin Cities location will bring the 48-year-old trucking company to a higher traffic area and serve as a relay spot for drivers to swap loads. It also provides them a 24/7 driver's lounge with many amenities, including computers, TVs, laundry, and showers. Helver's president says that's especially important in an industry where large truckload carriers often see a 100% driver turnover in a year.
Downtown Duluth has a new virtual safety network that will assist in the reduction and prevention of crimes in the area. In a public-private partnership, the Greater Downtown Council has entered into a contract with SecuroNet LLC to implement the network downtown. The process allows property owners to map the location of their building's public-facing security cameras so law enforcement can quickly and easily access data. It then can be used to identify suspects and assist in investigations.
Well, after more than 20 years at the University of Wisconsin-Superior, Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs Faith Hensrud stepped away this week. Dr. Hensrud was selected as the president-elect of Bemidji State University and Northwest Technical College effective July 1st. UWS Chancellor Renee Wachter said Hensrud's leadership was significant. She helped to lead the reaccreditation of the university, the strategic planning, and the campus master planning process. Wachter said Bemidji is very fortunate to gain the expertise that Hensrud will bring. For more on these and other stories, visit businessnorth.com.
Do you have some thoughts to share about this week's show? Dial 218-788-2849 to leave a message or send an email to almanacnorth@wdsc.org. For the latest information about the station, you can visit the WDSC website where you can get updates on your favorite programs, station events, channel listings, and more. And Danny, do you have plans for this first full weekend of summer?
There will be ham radio at Spirit Mountain, and I will have rhubarb.
All right, Rhubarb Festival and the Park Point Art Fair.
Yes,
that's another
cool.
good one this weekend. For Denny and the crew here at Almanac North, I'm Julie Zenner. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.